Khabib Nurmagomedov was born in a small village called Sildi in Dagestan, Russia. This was in the year 1988, where life was simple but very tough. His father, Abdulmanap, had a military background and later became a coach in martial arts. He was respected and loved in Dagestan for his work. Abdulmanap trained many champions in combat sambo, a sport combining wrestling and judo. His skills earned him a place in Russia's Book of Records. Khabib grew up watching his father coach fighters, which inspired him. Martial arts became part of his life from a very young age. At the age of 7, Khabib's father and uncles decided to move their families to the city of Makhachkala, the capital of Dagestan. In Makhachkala, Khabib lived in a house full of boys, as the family trained together. It was a special time for learning discipline and hard work. A famous story from Khabib's childhood shows how his father built his strength. At the age of 9, Khabib wrestled a bear under his father's guidance. This strange training was not just for fun. It helped Khabib learn to stay calm and fight against bigger and stronger opponents. His father believed that toughness and courage could only come through hard work, so he pushed Khabib to train every day. Abdulmanap's training methods were strict but effective. Khabib not only learned to fight, but also to respect his coaches, teammates, and his opponents. These values shaped Khabib's life, making him both a great athlete and a humble person. He carried these lessons into his career. Dagestan's culture also played a big role in his upbringing, teaching him the importance of family, loyalty, and discipline. Khabib started his martial arts training early. His father taught him combat sambo, a sport mixing judo and wrestling. Khabib loved the challenge of learning and improving. By his teenage years, he had already become skilled at fighting. In 2008, Khabib competed in the Combat Sambo World Championship. He won a gold medal, proving he was ready for the global stage. The following year, Khabib defended his title by winning another gold medal. These victories showed his discipline and determination. Around this time, Khabib decided to enter the world of mixed martial arts, also called MMA, to test his skills further. In September 2008, he made his professional MMA debut. He fought in small events but quickly built a strong reputation. Over the next 3 years, Khabib fought in Russia and Ukraine. He won all his fights, staying undefeated with a record of 16-0. His dominance was clear. He used his strong wrestling to control opponents and his sambo skills to finish fights. These early victories earned him the attention of the UFC, the world's biggest MMA organization. During this time, Khabib didn't only focus on MMA. He also competed in other martial arts events and won many titles. He became a European champion in hand-to-hand combat and a North American grappling champion. Khabib's versatility as a fighter made him stand out. His achievements showed he was ready for bigger challenges. In 2012, Khabib Nurmagomedov signed with the UFC, the most prestigious mixed martial arts organization in the world. He made his debut in January of that year, facing Kamal Shaloris in his first fight under the UFC banner. Khabib won the fight with a submission in the 3rd round, showing his grappling skills to a global audience. After his debut, Khabib continued to rise. He defeated Gleison Tibau in a tough, close fight that showcased his endurance. He followed up with a dominant win over Thiago Tavares, finishing him in the 1st round. Each victory showed Khabib's unique style of controlling opponents with his wrestling and ground-and-pound techniques. In 2013, Khabib faced Abel Trujillo in one of his most memorable performances. Despite missing weight, he dominated the fight. Khabib set a UFC record with 21 takedowns in a single fight, an achievement that still stands today. This performance proved that Khabib was one of the strongest wrestlers in the sport, making him a dangerous contender. Khabib's rise didn't stop there. He defeated Pat Healy later that year, earning his fifth consecutive UFC victory. His dominance caught the attention of fans and fighters alike. Khabib's reputation as an unstoppable force continued to grow. By the end of 2013, he was seen as one of the top lightweights in the UFC, ready to fight the best in the division. In 2012, Khabib joined the UFC, the world's top organization for mixed martial arts. This was a big step in his career. He made his debut in January, fighting Kamal Shaloris. Khabib showed his skills in the octagon and made a strong impression. He won the fight in the third round with a submission, proving he was ready for the challenges of the UFC. After his first fight, Khabib continued to climb the ranks. In his second fight, he faced Gleison Tibau in a tough battle. The fight was close, but Khabib's endurance and grappling skills helped him win by decision. Fans began to notice his potential. He then faced Thiago Tavares and won in the first round, showing his ability to dominate opponents quickly. Khabib's next fight was against Abel Trujillo in 2013. He missed weight but was allowed to compete. During the fight, Khabib broke a UFC record by scoring 21 takedowns. This incredible performance shocked everyone. The fight ended with another victory, and fans realized Khabib was a unique talent in the lightweight division. Later that year, Khabib fought Pat Healy, earning another win and extending his UFC streak. With every fight, Khabib became more confident and popular among MMA fans. He was now a top fighter in his weight class. By the end of 2013, Khabib had built a perfect UFC record. Many believed he was ready to face the best in the division. After his strong start in the UFC, Khabib faced serious challenges. Injuries kept him out of the octagon for nearly 2 years. He had to cancel fights, including a much-anticipated match against Tony Ferguson, frustrating both fans and himself. Khabib made his comeback in 2016, fighting Daryl Horcher. He won easily, proving he was still a dominant force. During Khabib's absence, the lightweight division had new champions. Rafael dos Anjos, whom Khabib had beaten earlier, became the title holder. Khabib continued his journey to a title shot, dominating opponents like Michael Johnson in impressive performances. After beating Johnson, Khabib called out Conor McGregor, starting one of the biggest rivalries in MMA history. Khabib's chance for UFC gold finally came in 2018. He was set to fight Tony Ferguson for the lightweight title. However, Ferguson had to pull out due to injury. Khabib then faced Ali Aquinta instead for the belt. Khabib won convincingly, becoming the first Muslim UFC champion and fulfilling a dream for himself and his family. This victory made Khabib the official lightweight champion. It was a historic moment for him, but bigger challenges lay ahead. His rivalry with Conor McGregor escalated. Their tension reached new heights after Conor's infamous bus attack. The two fighters finally met in the octagon in 2018 in one of the most highly anticipated bouts in UFC history. Khabib's fight with Conor McGregor in 2018 was the biggest event in UFC history. The rivalry added drama and excitement to the matchup. Khabib dominated the fight, using his wrestling skills to control McGregor. In the fourth round, he submitted McGregor and defended his title. After the win, Khabib jumped out of the octagon, sparking a brawl with McGregor's team. This incident shocked the MMA world. The brawl led to fines and suspensions for Khabib and others involved. Despite this, his win made him a global superstar. In 2019, Khabib returned to fight Dustin Poirier in Abu Dhabi. His father was in his corner, making it a special moment. Khabib won the fight with a third-round submission, continuing his undefeated streak and proving his dominance. In 2020, Tragedy struck when Khabib's father, Abdulmanap, passed away due to COVID-19 complications. It was a heartbreaking loss. Despite the pain, Khabib decided to fight Justin Gaethje later that year. This would be his first fight without his father by his side. Khabib won the fight with a second-round submission, keeping his perfect record and honoring his father's legacy. After the fight, Khabib announced his retirement. He had promised his mother he wouldn't fight without his father there to guide him. Fans were emotional, knowing this might be the last time they saw Khabib in the octagon. His retirement made headlines worldwide. Khabib left with a 29-0 record, one of the greatest achievements in MMA history, and became an inspiration for many. Even after retiring, Khabib's impact on MMA and his homeland, Dagestan, continues to grow. He remains a role model for young fighters worldwide. Many athletes look up to him for his discipline, humility, and strong family values. These traits make him respected both in and out of the sport. Khabib has inspired countless fighters from Dagestan, showing that hard work and dedication can lead to success on a global stage. Khabib now focuses on coaching and managing fighters, helping the next generation succeed. His experience and wisdom guide his students. Under his mentorship, several fighters have entered the UFC, continuing the tradition of excellence Khabib represents. His work has also brought more attention to Dagestan, highlighting the region's rich culture and deep connection to martial arts. Despite retiring, fans still wonder if Khabib will return to the octagon. Many dream of him reaching 30-0, as his father always wanted. However, Khabib seems firm in his decision to stay retired, focusing instead on his family and other goals. Whether he returns or not, his legacy as an undefeated champion and a role model is already secure in the world of sports. Beyond MMA, Khabib uses his fame to support charities and causes close to his heart. He has become a symbol of hope for many. His story of discipline, family, and faith resonates with people from all walks of life, showing what true strength means. Khabib's influence reaches far beyond the cage, proving that his journey is about more than just fighting. It's about inspiring others,